Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome all of you in today's discussion. So, today we are going to discuss verse number 21 and 22 from chapter 2, which is contents of Gita summarized. So, we have been discussing about the spirit soul, body, and different qualities of spirit soul. So, a quick recap. Arjuna was bewildered. So, because he could see that everybody is very much excited, enthusiastic to fight. And who are those who are excited to fight? They are none other than Arjuna's own near and dear ones, own kinsman, his own acquaintances. They have assembled over there and they are ready to fight. So then by seeing them, Dronacharya, Bhishma, his own grandfather, like this 10 different kinds of relatives, he saw Arjuna in the battlefield. And when he saw especially his own grandfather and his guru Dronacharya, he became bewildered and he was completely confused. He was not able to understand what I should do, what I should not do. And then he started giving different reasons and logics whether I should fight or not fight in this battlefield, and how this fighting is not going to give any kind of good thing in the society. In fact, then he started giving religious reason that if I kill them off, then all the women will become widow, and once women are unprotected, then unscrupulous people in the society, they will indulge into adultery with these women and they will pollute. And that's how, because women are the one who creates progeny. So if women are only polluted, like today all the 99% women are uh, independently acting and so polluted. So what will be the result? Demoniac population will take birth who will be agnostic, atheist, and they will not be in God consciousness. And if you talk about God, then they will say these are all, fantasy or mythology. This is not the reality, and there will be no interest of the people who are of demoniac mentality. And where from these demons come? When women are polluted, when women act independently and their chastity is broken, they are not faithful, so they such kind of women produce such kind of children. So these are the reasons. When Arjuna started giving to Krishna, then he thought that Krishna will tell me not to fight, but again Krishna started scolding Arjuna that you are talking on the bodily platform, that they are my own near and dear ones. So actually they are not your own, they are the spirit soul, not the body. And even though if you kill them, they are going to take another birth because they are beyond this body. Dehino asmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara. We are embodied into this body, we are not actually this body, we are beyond this body, we are a spirit soul. And when Arjuna was confused, bewildered, Krishna immediately raised his consciousness from bodily platform to spiritual platform, where if one is promoted, there will be no lamentation and hankering. This spiritual platform is such a platform where if somebody is promoted, then there will be no hankering and lamentation. Two things in this material world, if you see, whole world is after, they are suffering. What kind of suffering they are undergoing? These two things. They are hankering. People are so much passionate. They do have so many hankerings, desires, ye karna, wo karna. And then second thing, lamentation. What they don't have, for that they hanker, and what they have, if they lose, they lament. So these two things are always creating tormenting problems to the people in today's civilization, because they are on the bodily platform. But if they are promoted to spiritual platform, soul platform, actual platform, and that is real platform of existence, if they are promoted to, human beings are promoted. And how physically are they promoted? No, this is not the question of physical promotion. Consciousness, if our consciousness is promoted on the spiritual platform, then there will be no hankering and lamentation. We'll be always satisfied and will be always peaceful. So Krishna is giving that understanding to Arjuna about spiritual spark, that is soul, and many qualities he described, that spirit soul is not it does not undergo any kind of problems, any kind of suffering. It is the body which is under destruction, not the spirit soul which is indestructible, and nobody can kill the spirit soul because it is eternal and it is unborn. Spirit soul is unborn, and it can never be muted. It is immutable, and spirit soul is always eternal and individual. These are the two qualities, most important qualities of spirit soul: eternal and individual. There was never a time when we were merged into supreme Brahman, Krishna, and there will be never time in future also when again we will be merged into Krishna. We are always individual. Krishna was also eternally individual, so our existence is eternally individual. Krishna's individuality is absolute truth, and our individuality is also absolute truth. It is not relative truth. So all these understanding Krishna is putting forth to Arjuna. So now we are going to continue from where we had stopped yesterday, and today we'll continue from there. So before we start, let us chant prayer. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshutarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaurang ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So I'll share the screen. Ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. So I'll share the screen. Ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So yesterday we had understood. So I'll share the screen. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतो अयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. So न जायते, soul never takes birth. So yesterday we had Nayam Bhutva. I'll share the screen. न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचित् नायम भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयः अजो नित्य शाश्वतो अयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे. Soul. And so Ajo means soul never takes birth. So yesterday we had Nayam Bhutva. It is never Nayam. There was never time that Ajo Nitya Shastra is always there. बल्कि body का destruction होता. शरीर and Ajo means soul never takes birth. Body yesterday we had Nayam Bhutva. It is never Nayam. There was never time that Ajo Nitya Shastra is always there. Sorry. Okay. I think now it is okay. So till this point, this verse we had discussed yesterday, verse number 20. Now 21st verse. Today we'll be discussing. What is the 21st verse? Anybody would like to recite this verse? Aditya? कोई रिसाइट करना चाहेगा ये श्लोक 21वां 21st वर्स?
यस प्रभु जी.
Dheeraj. Yes.
वेदा विनाशिनं नित्यं या यन् मज्यवयं कथं ता पुरुषः पार्थ की घातयति हन्तिकम्.
वेरी गुड. सो मैं पढ़ लेता हूँ, बाकी लोग भी समझ जाएंगे. वेदा विनाशनम नित्यम, जैसा कि धीरज ने अच्छे से पढ़ा, ये वेदा होगा क्योंकि एक के ऊपर लाइन है, तो वेदा. एंड विनाशिनम, ये जो this sibilant sound here, sibilant sound will come. Sh means here you can see this sh will come, and here is also sh. How it is written? This sh is written like this. Under sh there will be dot. When this sh comes, then above s there will be one line. So yes, this is how Veda Vinashinam Nityam Ya Inam Ajam Avyayam Katham Sa Purusah Partha Kim Kam Ghatayati Hantikam. So by using this Roman transliteration, it becomes very simple to read in this, Sanskrit. Otherwise, in English, you cannot properly pronounce the words of Sanskrit. Sometimes it happens, in when we have to read somebody's name, we are not able to pronounce correctly, because if suppose somebody's name is Rama, so how you will pronounce? Ram, Rama, or Rama, what you will pronounce? If you suppose that name is referring to a girl, then name will be Rama, but you are pronouncing as Rama, that is male. So in English, it becomes very English language is very faulty language one sense. There is not clarity. It is very ambiguous language. There is no clear कि क्या है कैसे. But what to do? This now English language has become fashion today. If you don't speak English, then people will think that he is outdated man. He is primitive. He doesn't know much. So therefore, people are trying to learn English and speak. But otherwise, Sanskrit language is the best language. Sanskrit language is the mother of all the other languages, most sweetest language. And in Sanskrit, when you talk, it appears like people are singing. And in Sanskrit, there is nothing called abusive words. There is no abusive words. And in abusive words also, when you abuse somebody or you scold somebody, that scolding will be like music. And just like when Krishna scolded Arjuna, so in a very nice way, in a musical way, he's scolding in a song, in the form of song. Like Arjuna was scolded by Krishna, chastised by Krishna, that verse number 11, if anybody remembers. What is that verse? Asochayanana sochastam pragyavadam ch bhasase gata suna gata sumshananu sochanti pandita. Now in this verse, Krishna is scolding Arjuna. Very badly he is scolding. If in English you read, then the words are full of harshing nature. Words are harsh in behavior. But Sanskrit, it is so nicely, you are feeling like Prabhu is glorifying me. Suppose if I come and start abusing, scolding in Sanskrit, you will think, oh, very nice, Prabhu is glorifying me in Sanskrit. But actually, I am scolding, chastising you. So Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. But anyway, now nobody is taught. Since then, 11, since beginning only we are promoted into English, math, science, and which are of no use. English is not of any use. Is there any practical implementation of English language? No. Is there any practical implementation of science, maths? No. Practical implementation is of what? Is there of Bhagavad Gita, mind control, sense control, how mind works, how we are not this body, how we should not get attracted by sense gratificatory objects. So these are all day-to-day business where we have to do where we have to deal with every second. But about this knowledge, it was not taught in the beginning, and in college also when we have come, it is not taught, and in the any phase of life, it is this knowledge is never taught to us, and we always remain mudha, means foolish. So this is our unfortunate education system. But anyway, you are fortunate that you have come in contact of very perfect person, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's teachings, by which you can understand, get the perfect knowledge. So yes, what is the translation here? Oh Partha, how can a person who knows that the soul is indestructible, unborn, eternal, and inimputable kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? वेदा विनाशिनम नित्यम यह इनम अजम अव्ययम कथम स पुरुष पार्थ। ओ पार्थ, कथम मीन्स कैसे, कोई भी व्यक्ति कम घातयति हंतिकम, कैसे किसी अनबॉर्न इटर्नल चीज को मार सकता है। ओ पार्थ, हाउ कैन अ पर्सन हु नोज दैट द सोल इज इंडिस्ट्रक्टिबल, अनबॉर्न, इटर्नल एंड इम्यूटेबल किल एनीवन और कॉज एनीवन टू किल। दिस नॉलेज इज इटसेल्फ, आपको लग रहा होगा ये प्रभु जी क्या पढ़ा रहे हैं, ये बार बार सोल इंडिस्ट्रक्टिबल अनबॉर्न इटर्नल, but and you will be seeing that Krishna every now and then he is in all the verses same thing, almost same thing is repeating, you know, indestructible. Previous verses also he has already said unborn, again eternal, immutable. These words are already used in Bhagavad Gita earlier verses, 20th verses, 19th verses, but again Krishna is saying why, because very very important subject matter this is, to go in our subconscious mind and conscious mind, all the levels of mind, and get registered, and we get convinced that actually we are indestructible, we are eternal, we are unborn, our nature is this. Therefore Krishna about soul continuously 10 to 12 15 verses, from verse number 12 to verse number 30, Krishna has spoken only about spirit soul and different natures of spirit soul. Why? Because this is the basic foundation. If foundation only is not clear, then you're not going to understand the higher subject matter. So this soul understanding is very basic, and it is very very important for us to get thorough, get acquainted, get nicely equipped with philosophical understanding about the soul, that soul ka nature kya hai. So one of the most important nature of the soul is it is eternal and individual, and it is part and parcel of Krishna eternally. And the second thing, we belong, because soul is eternal, Anna, and this material world is temporary. So therefore you will see that because our soul, we are eternal, and this body is temporary and material world is temporary, so therefore this soul is not happy here in this material world, because we are looking always for eternal things, we are looking for eternity, but we are not able to get experience those eternity here in this material world. Therefore we are always frustrated. We in search of eternity, we do many many things, we are doing so many things इटर्निटी को पाने के लिए, कि मैं ये कर लूं तो आनंद आएगा, ये कर लूं तो आई विल बी सिक्योर्ड, प्रोटेक्टेड, आई विल नॉट बिकम ओल्ड, आई विल नॉट डाई. So all the endeavors are in the direction of become eternally happy, blissful, but all the endeavors are devastated here. सारे endeavors क्या है? It is becoming, you know, shattered. So therefore we should, इसीलिए कृष्णा पूरा पूरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग दे रहे हैं सोल के बारे में. समझो सोल ये खोपड़ी में बैठ जाए तुम्हारे, कि तुम सोल हो, तुम शरीर नहीं हो. डोंट कंसिडर योरसेल्फ विद बॉडी, यू आर स्पिरिट सोल. एंड देयरफॉर वी शुड आल्सो रियलाइज दिस, दैट आई एम बियॉन्ड दिस बॉडी एंड स्पिरिट सोल. एंड ये भगवान ने अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिया. तो कोई बोलेगा अच्छा तो साइंटिफिक प्रूफ है क्या इसका? यस, साइंटिफिक प्रूफ है. मैंने कल आपको वीडियो भी दिखा था. इयान स्टीवेंसन ने 3000 से ज्यादा केसेस फाइंड आउट किए जहां पर रीइंकार्नेशन इज फैक्ट बताया गया है. उसने सीरिया में, बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में, छोटे छोटे जगह, रिमोट कंट्रीज में जा जाके ये यान स्टीवेंसन, जो कि बहुत बड़ा एमडी है और कैलिफोर्निया यूनिवर्सिटी वर्जीनिया में, और एज एमडी ही वाज वर्किंग ओवर देयर, एंड 40 years he worked over there, and after that he was given the funding by the discoverer of Xerox machine, Chester Carler. So he gave all kinds of funding to Ian Stevenson that you go and disprove that there is reincarnation, but ulta happened, inverted happened, that no, there is reincarnation. Scientific proof भी है, लॉजिक भी बोलता है कि अगर हम मरते हैं तो सारी चीजें एक्सटर्नली तो सेम है, फिर भी आदमी म्यूट क्यों हो जाता है? म्यूट हो जाता है ना तो साउंड निकलता है, ना तो कुछ निकलता है. ऑल द इमोशंस आर म्यूटेड, एवरीथिंग इज म्यूटेड. तो क्या चला गया? सो समथिंग हायर हैज गॉन, है ना. सो when we dream also, that time we also experience, we are lying on the bed, our hands, like whole body is nicely relaxing on the bed, but we dream something happening, unusual happening, and we are very much fearful. something has happened, somebody has died in our family, and people are screaming, crying, they are devastated. We are also crying very badly, bitterly. But when we get up, we see nothing has happened. Then we become solaced. फिर हमें बहुत अच्छा लगता है कि it was nice that it was a dream. So experience, it was very real, no? When you are dreaming, you can never deny that the thing which you saw in the dream was not real. It was real in the dream. In the dream is reality, and this world is a dream. And when you get up, this world becomes reality, and dream world becomes dream. So what is reality, what is dream, nobody can find out. I openly challenge even to any scientist, either it is Stephen Hawking or Einstein. This is a challenge to all kinds of scientists, all the agnostic rascal philosophers. My challenge to everybody. You also challenge to your friends. When you sleep, in the dream you go, so in the dream everything becomes real. Real experience you get. Tiger is chasing you, are fearful, you are running, but you are not able to run fast, and tiger is about to attack you, and then your need is broken, your sleep is broken. Then you get out of the sleep, and then you see, oh, there is no tiger, nothing, and I'm fully saved. But when you see your body fully perspired, well, whole sweat, your body is completely wet from sweat. So if the experience was not real, then how your body is sweating so much? Sometimes in the dream you feel like you are associating with beautiful girl, and then it so happens you have intercourse also, and you are ejaculating semen in the physical body also. So how this happens? Unless you are experiencing same thing in the dream. So experientially dream is fact, existentially it is temporary. It the dream longs for few hours, 3-4 hours. And but ड्रीम में जब आप हैं तो ड्रीम रियलिटी लगती है. दिस एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड, आप कौन है, आप IITian हैं, आप कौन से कैंपस में, आप एक लेबर क्लास हैं, आप जॉब करते हैं, आप लड़की हैं, आप लड़का हैं, आप प्रोफेशनल हैं, आप क्या है, कुछ पता नहीं होता. ऑल दिस आइडेंटिटी इज फॉरगॉटन. You are into different identity altogether in the dream. You are king or queen or doctor, whatever, different identity altogether we take. But when you get up, then this becomes reality, and what you saw in the dream becomes dream. Then we say, oh, तो dream था, वो तो सपना था. वो सपना नहीं है, वो सपना नहीं था, हकीकत था. सपने में सपना हकीकत लगता है, सपना नहीं लगता. जब सपने से बाहर आते हैं तो सपना सपना लगता है, हकीकत नहीं लगता. सपने में सपना हकीकत है, ये दुनिया सपना है. और इस दुनिया में जब हम जगते हैं तो ये दुनिया हकीकत लगता है और सपना सपना लगता है. तो क्या सपना है और क्या हकीकत है, कोई नहीं बता सकता. इसलिए भगवद गीता में भगवान ने बोला है दोनों ही सपने हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड नाइट ड्रीम, दिस इज कॉल्ड डे ड्रीम. In the day also you are dreaming. Dream means what? Temporary things. Anything which is temporary, that means dream. And this life which we are leading is temporary. Yes or no? Any time dream can be broken. Just like when you sleep, when you get up, dream is broken. Even sometimes you'd have experience, no? बहुत अच्छा ड्रीम आया और आप उस ड्रीम को कंटिन्यू करना चाहते हैं, अचानक कोई आकर डिस्टर्ब कर देता है. अरे उठो उठो, टाइम हो गया. फिर आप इरिटेट हो, यार कितना अच्छा ड्रीम देख रहा था मैं, तुमने डिस्टर्ब कर दिया, है ना. मेरा पूरा इतना, मैं इतना अच्छा चीज एक्सपीरियंस कर रहा था. आई वाज वंडरिंग हियर एंड देयर. मैं कहाँ गया था, वहां बहुत अच्छा सीन था, लोगों के बीच में बैठा था. तुम यार मेरा ड्रीम को तोड़ दिया. फिर अगेन क्या होता है, हम फिर से सोना चाहते हैं, सोने की कोशिश करते हैं, उस ड्रीम को कंटिन्यू करना चाहते हैं, लेकिन वो ड्रीम कंटिन्यू होगा क्या? नहीं होगा. कितना भी आप सो के और उस ड्रीम को फिर से लाने की कोशिश करो, उस स्टोरी को थॉट करो और ड्रीम में जाने की कोशिश करो, बट दैट ड्रीम विल नेवर बी अगेन कंटिन्यूड, है ना. In the same way, this life which we are leading today, we are thinking, I am a boy, I am a girl, I am engineer, I am doctor, I am PhD scholar, I am working this, that, so many identities we have taken. But all these identities can any time be broken. Yamraj will come and will say, चलो भैया टाइम हो गया, बहुत हो गया, एंजॉय कर लिए, चलो टाइम आ गया, चलो चलो चलो. दैट टाइम यू कैन नॉट से, नहीं नहीं अभी तो थोड़ा ड्रीम देखने दो, थोड़ा मजा आ रहा है लाइफ में, बहुत मजा आ रहा है, थोड़ा एंजॉय करने दो. कुछ नहीं ऐसा होगा. यू विल बी फोर्स्ड टू लीव दिस वर्ल्ड and move to another world, another life, another dream. Anna, this is not correct? Absolutely correct. So this is what happening to all of us every moment, every day, every night. When we sleep, we dream. In the dream becomes reality. This life becomes dream. But when we get up, this life becomes reality. Dream becomes dream. What is dream? What is reality? Nobody can ascertain. So therefore, scriptures are telling us, वो हमको समझा रहे हैं, वो अलार्म कर रहे हैं. We get alarmed, get understanding that both are dreams. Dreams means temporary and you are eternal. Here Krishna is saying, so look forward for eternity, where we can get eternal life which never ends. And that eternal life can be only achieved when we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and re-establish our relationship with Krishna again, and go back to Krishna in the spiritual world, a world which is made of spirit, a world which is not made of matter, a world which is eternal, a world which is full of bliss, a world which is full of knowledge. That world exists, but we are not aware about that world. That is called in Sanskrit Vaikuntha. You'd have heard the name. लेकिन मजे भी लिए होंगे यार, एक कुछ वैकुंठ वैकुंठ नहीं होता, everything is just mythology. But yes, it exists. Vaikuntha means vigat kuntha asmadidi vaikuntha, means where there is no kuntha. Kuntha means misery, anxiety. संस्कृत में मिजरी एंजाइटी को कुंठा बोलते हैं. आपने सुना होगा, आपने इस वर्ड को यूज भी किया होगा कि मेरे लाइफ में बहुत ही कुंठा है. कुंठा मीन्स एंजाइटी. वैकुंठा मीन्स वेयर देयर इज नो एंजाइटी. So Vaikuntha is a place where there is no anxiety at all at any time. Life is full of bliss eternally. That is called spiritual world, made of spirit, and their spirit resides over there and enjoys life eternally. And Krishna is now and again, he is emphasizing this point that realize you are indestructible, you are unborn, you are eternal, and you belong to therefore a spiritual world. You don't belong to this material world which is temporary. And therefore, every now and then Krishna has made this statement, अरे सोल तो मरती नहीं है, सोल तो अजर है, अमर है, इम्यूटेबल है. हर एक श्लोक में आप पाएंगे इसको, क्योंकि इसकी जरूरत है. हमारे कॉन्शियसनेस माइंड में जैसे तक फिट नहीं हो जाता, आगे आने वाली अंडरस्टैंडिंग आपको बिल्कुल समझ में नहीं आएगी. अगर हम बॉडली प्लेटफॉर्म पे ही रहेंगे, सोल प्लेटफॉर्म पे ने आपको रेज नहीं किया, तो इस डिस्कशन के आने वाले बाद वाला डिस्कशन बिल्कुल आपके पल्ले नहीं पड़ेगा. फिर आपका इंटरेस्ट भी चला जाएगा, आपको लगेगा ये फालतू बोरिंग क्लास हो रही है. लेट मी बेटर कंटिन्यू मूवी. ऐसे 1 घंटे में बहुत अच्छी मूवी देख के उसमें अच्छा कुछ इंटरटेनमेंट मिल जाएगा, यहाँ तो टाइम पास चल रहा है. तो ऐसा होगा. Okay, so now purport. Who will read the first highlighted one? Today I want all of you to read. So you can volunteer. Volunteer and start reading. First one, blue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Everything has its proper utility, and a man who is situated in complete knowledge knows how and where to apply a thing for its proper utility. Similarly, violence also has its utility, and how to apply violence rests with the person in knowledge. Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the courts of the justice.
Yes. यहाँ पर प्रभुपाद लिख रहे हैं कि even a violence has got a place. The principle is utility. Utility is a principle. Everything has got its own utility. Even anger, even lust has also got a utility. But it should be utilized right at right time and right place for right cause. Therefore, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kamo Asmi, this lust I am, but where to apply, when to apply, and for what it should be applied, that should be guided. So everything has got a place. Nothing in the world which is there, it is unused or useless. No. So violence is also useful. It has got a place. But where to use is the very, very important thing and should be authorized by a person who is authority. Just like Prabhupada gives example, Although the justice of the peace awards capital punishment to a person condemned for murder, the justice of the peace cannot be blamed because he orders violence to another person according to the courts of justice. Anna? So I hope you have understood this. So similar understanding here Prabhupada extends by referring from Manu Samhita. Who will read this from in Manu Samhita? कोई volunteer कर सकता है?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Piyush. Please go ahead.
In Manu Samhita, the law book of mankind, it is supported that a murderer condemned to death so that in his next life he will not have to suffer for the great sin committed. Therefore, the a murderer is actually beneficial. Similarly, when Krishna orders, it concluded that violence is for supreme justice, and as such, Arjuna should follow the instruction, knowing well that such violence committed in the act of fighting for Krishna is not violence at all.
Yes. तो यहाँ पर प्रभुपाद मनु संहिता को रेफर करते हुए बोल रहे हैं कि पहले के टाइम पे क्या होता था, जब कोई मर्डर, कोई गलत काम करता था, कोई सिंफुल एक्टिविटी करता था, तो उसको जो राजा होता था वो उसको फांसी की सजा सुना देता था. कोई भी अगर मर्डर किया ना, अगर कोई चोरी किया हो तो उसकी हाथ काट देते थे. There used to be a very severe punishment earlier when the monarchy system was there. And कोई मर्डर किया तो उसको he was condemned to death, not that he will be put behind the bars and there will be cases against him and so many hearings will be there and so many lawyers will come to protect him, to safeguard him. No, if he is committed a murder, king must punish him and he should kill him by ordering the this hanging him till death. But this is not happening today. So what is the advantage of this? Because when king orders to such person to get killed immediately, to get punished immediately till death, then what will happen? They will not get suffering in the next life. Otherwise, they are going to suffer very, very severely in the next life. So here only you get reaction in this life only, then you will be saved in the next life. Otherwise, you are going to suffer very severely in the next life. Therefore, king will follow Manu Samhita, and as per Manu Samhita, they will be immediately hanged till death. Okay, next. So this I will myself read. A surgeon operation. So यहाँ प्रभुपाद एक example भी देता है. A surgical operation is not meant to kill the patient, but to cure him. Therefore, the fighting to be executed by Arjuna at the instruction of Krishna is with full knowledge, so there is no possibility of sinful reaction. Prabhupada is giving the example of a surgical operation when it is all the instruments, even knives and all those things are used to cure the patient, not to kill him. In the same way, even all these weapons can be used to protect dharma and protect the people from sinful activity and also protect them so that they may not suffer in the next life. So this was the understanding. Now next verse, this is very famous verse. You would have heard the translation but may not be knowing about the verse. So who will read this verse? This is the last verse. Anybody can volunteer.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Vasamsi jirnani yata vihaya navani grukhnati naro parani tata sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani samyati navani dehi.
Translation.
As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up the old and useless ones.
Yes. So this garment example you would have heard many times, that just like मैं कभी ये कुर्ता पहन के आता हूँ, कभी दूसरे कलर का कुर्ता पहन के आता हूँ, कभी अलग. So every day I am changing new kurta and accepting other kurta. You would be also changing new dresses. So that does not mean you got changed. Your personality is same, but you are changing the dresses. In the same way, this body is compared to dress, garment. This body is changed. That does not mean that you are changed. You are still the same person. and this body is like a garment, and we are actually the real one who is changing this body when body becomes useless. Okay, the purport is very nice. Who will read this first paragraph?
The super soul fulfills the desire of the atomic soul as one friend fulfills the desire of another. The Vedas, like the Mundaka Upanishad, as well as Sveteshvatara Upanishad, compare the soul and the super soul to two friendly birds sitting on the same tree. One of the birds, the individual atomic soul, is eating the fruit of the tree. The other bird, Krishna, is simply watching his friend. Of these two birds, although they are the same in quality, one is captivated by the fruits of the material tree, while the other is simply witnessing the activities of his friend. Krishna is the witnessing bird and the Arjuna is the eating bird. Although they are friends, one is still the master and other is the servant.
Yes. So here Prabhupada is quoting Mundak Upanishad and is saying two Upanishad, Mundak Upanishad and Svetasvatara Upanishad also. By referring these two scriptures, Prabhupada is writing that these two souls called Jiva soul, Jivatma and Paramatma. Individual soul means we and super soul. Both are compared with birds, two birds, and this body is compared with a tree. So these two birds are sitting in this on this tree. So one bird is that one bird which is individual atomic soul. It is busy in eating fruits, and another bird which is super soul as Krishna. That bird is simply witnessing and observing. So the second bird which is Krishna, Paramatma, there it is compared like that. It is not that they are birds, but it is compared like that. Just like you would have seen a tree on the branch, two birds are sitting. One bird is busy engaged in eating all the fruits of the tree, but another bird is simply witnessing. So here that same understanding is given so that we can understand very easily. So this jiva means atma. We are busy engaged in eating the fruits. Whatever we do activity, we try to eat the result of that fruit. And sometimes the fruit is very tasty, sometimes fruit is very bitter. So what is the meaning of tasty and bitter? Sometimes tasty means happiness, bitter means distress. So we are engaged in activities and we get the result, we get the fruit. So fruit may be good or bad, fruit may be success or failure. So both the things we are enjoying and suffering continuously. And another bird which is immune to all these things, another bird, that is Krishna, Paramatma, we sitting beside Atma only, but that Paramatma is not indulged into any activity. It is simply witnessing that how this bird, this foolish bird, it is busy engaged in eating the good food or bitter fruit and enjoying and suffering. So this is how here in this purport it is compared. Okay, next, who will read this? I want Pawan Kumar, new student. Can you just read this purport which is there in yellow color highlighted? Yes, your voice is not coming, Pawan. Yes, go on. Go on.
Forgetfulness of this relationship by the atomic soul is the cause of one's changing his position from one tree to another, or from to uh, one body to another. The Jiva soul is struggling very hard on the tree of the material body, but as soon as he agrees to act the other bird as the supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to by voluntary surrender unto Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentations. Both the Upanishad and Swata Swatra Upanishad come from this.
Very good. So here Prabhupada is writing by referring to again scripture. So this is the beauty of a real spiritual master. A real bona fide spiritual master will always refer some scriptures and he will write something. So don't never ever think that Prabhupada is writing anything in the purport by his own. No, he is always referring, just like when Sai Naresh is read. So he just see here he read two Upanishads Prabhupada is quoting. So here also when you Pawan read, then here also Prabhupada is quoting two Upanishads. So all the lines, words are not the words of Prabhupada. These are the words coming from directly scriptures. So what is so nicely here Prabhupada is writing that forgetfulness of this relationship by so understanding is this bird which is busy engaged in eating the fruit has got why it is busy engaged, because it wants happiness, it wants bliss in life. Therefore it is thinking that by partaking into the fruits I will be happy. But that foolish bird does not know that many times that bird is eating bitter fruit. Sometimes it gets some good food, tasty fruit, so it is thinking that all the fruits will be tasty. No, many fruits are bitter, but it is not able to understand, and in search of happiness it is engaged into activities. But this foolish bird does not understand that it has got a very nice eternal relationship with this second bird, which is not an ordinary bird. This is Krishna himself, who is witnessing, observing all your activities, and he is only sanctioning, therefore you are able to do. So Paramatma ka do business hai. One is Upadrishta, another is Anumanta. One is witnesser as witnesser, and another is as a sanctioner. So Paramatma means Krishna, he witnesses and he sanctions. Without sanction of Krishna, nothing can happen in this material world. Even a blade of grass cannot move, that we know. So Krishna is witnessing our desire and we are busy so he sanctions. Okay, you desire, so you do on your own risk. Many times people say अगर भगवान की कृपा सब हो रहा है, भगवान चाहते हैं, तो ये मर्डर क्यों हो रहा है, ये कश्मीर में इतने सारे सब कुछ क्यों हुए? Because this jiva living entity, they have such desires. So Krishna gives all kinds of conscience देते हैं कि this is sinful desire, don't do this. But jiva living entity is so foolish, it is so illusioned by material nature that it is unable to understand what is right, what is wrong, and it just go on by his own desire and suffers. So therefore Krishna sanctions, okay, you do on your own risk, but I will say that you should not do. So living entity is a desirer, therefore this another bird which is witnessing as Krishna, it sanctions that. But actually by indulging into satisfying the desires, this bird cannot be happy unless it reestablishes its relationship with Krishna. Otherwise, here you see, Jiva soul is struggling very hard on the tree of material body, but as soon as he agrees to accept the other bird as the supreme spiritual master, as Arjuna agreed to do by voluntary surrender into Krishna for instruction, the subordinate bird immediately becomes free from all lamentation. Just see, this is the formula. अगर आपको lamentation से free होना है ना, so you have to surrender unto Krishna. And how to, what is the process of surrender? Chant the name of Krishna. So this I will read by myself quickly and finish. Although the two birds are in the same tree, the eating bird is fully engrossed with anxiety and moroseness as the enjoyer of the fruits of the tree. तो हम फ्रूट को खा के भी खुश नहीं है, हम क्या कर रहे हैं, एंजाइटी में हैं और मोरोसनेस में हैं. But if in some way or other he turns his face to his friend, तो अभी क्या एक बर्ड है जो दूसरे बर्ड से मुंह फेर लिया, it is averse. But if turns its face towards this bird which is witnessing, then it can get all kinds of happiness. Same thing it is written. If other bird turns his face to his friend who is the Lord and knows his glories, at once the suffering bird becomes free from all anxiety. देखो, अगर एंजाइटी से फ्री होना है तो क्या करना है, हमारा फेस भगवान की तरफ टर्न करना है. Now we are averse to the Lord and therefore we are into anxiety. When we become towards the Lord, then we become free from anxiety. Arjuna has now turned his face towards his eternal friend Krishna and is understanding Bhagavad Gita from him. And thus hearing from Krishna, he can understand the supreme glories of Lord and be free from lamentation. Okay, so this will complete. This is how we have completed the two verses nicely described by Prabhupada. So with this we'll stop. You have any question, you can ask.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes.
प्रभु क्या टाइमिंग का कुछ चेंज हो सकता है क्या? पहले थोड़ा 8:30 बजे से,
अच्छा,
इफ पॉसिबल,
क्यों
यदि
9 बजे
पॉसिबल
प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है?
हाँ, वो टाइम मतलब एंड लेट होता है तो थोड़ा सा 10 बज जाता है, इसलिए पूछ रहे हैं।
Okay, we'll see, and then we'll accordingly we'll act.
यदि पॉसिबल हो पाए तो ऐसे फ्री हो।
Okay. Anybody else has
और
anything to say?
एक क्वेश्चन और था कि जैसे अभी प्रभुपाद ने इसमें जो उपनिषद का जो रेफरेंस लिए हैं, तो इसमें जैसे ये भगवत गीता जो है, ये तो सभी स्क्रिप्चर्स का एसेंस है, लोग ऐसे बोलते हैं ना। तो क्या जो जो उपनिषद है, उपनिषद में भी तो इसके बारे में बहुत कुछ बताया गया है, तो हम लोग को वो चीज स्टडी करना चाहिए या फिर केवल भगवत गीता को ही प्रॉपरली ज्यादा अच्छे से?
नहीं, भगवद गीता इज सफिशिएंट. प्रभुपाद ने जो भगवद गीता में दे दिया, that is enough. Therefore Prabhupada is quoting in the purports. Otherwise why would Prabhupada quote
हाँ,
from Upanishad? Prabhupada is
Okay.
quoting, therefore we should be happy and satisfied. भगवद गीता ही समझ लेंगे तो उसमें हमारे लाइफ सक्सेस हो जाएगा. No need to
Yes, yes.
see, we should not go after knowledge and without realizing anything.
Really.
We have to realize. The important thing is realization, not the knowledge. So knowledge is first thing, but realization is most important thing. So if we can realize this one book Bhagavad Gita, that is more than enough. All the concepts are given. All the concepts are given here. So there is no need to read any other scripture. Bhagavad Gita one is enough.
Okay, bro.
So with this we'll stop. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.